Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. My wife of 6 years cheated on me with her sister's boyfriend. We were roommates. Advice. So about a month ago, I was laying in our bed watching YouTube videos, and on her side of the bed we have this remote organizer that she keeps small electronics in, etc. I kept hearing this vibration noise, so I dug through the little organizer and found her watch that's connected to her phone. And I found messages from her sister's boyfriend at the time, and he said I could get lost staring at you and that he deletes these, in reference to the messages. I immediately felt broken and just blown away by it, so I confronted her immediately about the messages, and she starts crying and going on about how she was going to leave with him right then and there. Things kinda simmered down after I confronted them both the same day, and they both had me convinced that nothing would come of it and that it was just a mistake. I also had massive respect for my wife and her sister's boyfriend, so I believed them. A couple weeks go by. I offered to take my son to my dad's house for a weekend after my wife asked me for some space, so I obliged. While I'm at my dad's house having a great time with my son, we have this bridge over the interstate near our home, probably 5 minutes away on foot, and her sister ended up getting drunk and tried to jump off the bridge, for the second time, but instead of going after her when she walked off on her own, my wife ended up having sex with her sister's boyfriend in our guest bedroom, and they've basically been going out every night since then. When it comes to the sister's attempted suicide, my wife says she's immature and is doing it for attention. I also happen to be clairvoyant and very empathetic, and I have very odd dreams that turn out to be real. For instance, my mom's death and my grandmother's, and now this. I knew where they ducked around at based off a dream I had while at my dad's. She had the audacity to ask me what position they were in when I mentioned this to her. There were times prior to anything happening or even the messages, I would notice her doing some things out of character. She would have a full face of makeup on when I'd get home from work, and he was home for a while because he missed work with COVID. After an argument, I came home from work with flowers and chocolates and a couple other gifts, and when I gave them to her she hits me with the "I don't like flowers" and is kind of rude to me while he's in her sister's room with the door open, and somewhat chuckles while my wife is straight up being rude to me as if he knew something that I had not. Even though when I had my suspicions my wife would say things like, I could never do anything with him because he did get her sister pregnant. The sad part about all this is she actually came home to me and would tell me things like she loved me and hoped I was okay, and we even had sex a few times. Unfortunate, I know. I've been trying to reconcile things just because I genuinely believed she was the one for me when I proposed. But I feel like it's a wasted effort, and I'm just emotionally ruined by this whole situation. As of right now, I've just been focused on myself and my son. I just would like to get feedback or anything on this because WTF. Long story short, I feel as if I had way too much trust in the people involved, and I'm way too nice and get taken advantage of way too easily when it comes to those I love. The hardest thing for me is sleeping. I get up early, work 12 hours a day, and that's not enough to make me physically tired. My soul yearns for this woman because she's literally the first one I've ever truly loved. We had a lot in common and she does a great job most of the time. I'm just baffled by the fact this would have happened right under my nose had I not seen those messages, yet it still played no role. I've never touched another woman in 7 years, so starting anew will be difficult for me, and I really wish things were not how they were. Broken heart. For more context, this is the second time she's cheated, and today when I finally saw her again she had hickeys on her neck. So yeah, there's that. Edit, I need friends, so add me on Instagram or Xbox please. Folded hands, XB1, Mr. Enforsic, Tucker_07. 6 years man, walk away now, no alimony. She was gaslighting you the whole time and doesn't even seem to give a shit about her sister. This, plain and simple. She is playing up and didn't give a damn. Blows my mind the level of cruelty here. Her sister tried to kill herself and she couldn't be bothered not to keep screwing him. What chance do you have? Protect yourself and your child. This is a disaster and it's clear your marriage is over. Your heart just hasn't caught up yet. Attempted suicide had no impact on either of them? What horrible humans. There is nothing to reconcile here. The marriage is over and she needs to be mostly out of your life as soon as possible. The sad part about all this is that I've been trying to reconcile. They are literally laughing at you behind your back, watching you do the pick-me dance, rowing with all your strength to stop this boat from sinking. Stop that. These are not good people and you need to cast them out of your life. They are emotionally ruining you. Lawyer, file and start co-parenting. You are not obligated to be nice to your abusers. Parallel parenting. Have no contact with that heinous woman except as to your son. Use a parenting app only. Exactly. Keep the level of social interaction with the WS at a steady -1. They're not only bad people, they are ridiculing the wife's sister's emotional trauma. These two truly are horrendous people. They are just your run-of-the-mill friend/roommate who is cheating with my wife. There are probably 50 of them very stories on Reddit in the last week or two. Any older guys in your 40s think this sure happens a lot more now? The friend backstabbing ya? I can't remember it happening a whole lot when I was in my 20s. Lol, I was a violent lunatic when I was younger, so they would know a beating was in store for them too. Yep. Every time he sends her a text she will roll over in bed and show him, then they both laugh, and this stuck-in guy wants her back. I understand love. I've been there, but when someone shows you they don't love you back, what's the point? My anger always takes over, so I don't understand this guy. This person you're married to doesn't give a crap about you or her sister. I can't imagine someone this selfish is somehow a good parent to your son either. I could be wrong. She sounds like a garbage person. I say take the trash out. I ended up staying a week at my dad's and she never bothered to call my son or anything. This is so outrageous, I want to puke. If you're actually still with her, move back out right now with your child. Your sil tried to kill herself and instead of trying to help her, your wife slept with her BF. Your wife is scum. You don't want to be with this kind of person, WTF. Contact an attorney and file for divorce right now. Expose her to family and friends, otherwise your wife will paint you as the villain. Your wife clowns you in front of other men and is deliberately cruel. Never do the pick-me dance. The more you try to nice her, the more she can't stand you and the crueler she'll be. BC, she's ducked in the head. Read Cheating in a Nutshell and no more Mr. Nice Guy. Go no contact. Hit the gym, eat healthy, don't drink alcohol, get good night's rest, drink water. Incredibly sorry you're going through this. Please keep posting as needed and update. TLDR, file for divorce and full custody. Indeed, Op needs to immediately divorce and nuke his wife's, as well as AP's, reputation. He needs to expose their horrendous, and possibly psychopathic, behaviors to all families and friends. She's possibly a narcissist and a psychopath. You're married to a very dangerous person. It's not your fault. This kind of people are very good at pretending to be normal people, even for years. I think if she's open and willing enough, it will happen eventually. It's natural for some, usually around the 30-year-old mark. I just think she hasn't loved him for a long time and it's obvious they have both been laughing at him. I know what I would do, but that's why I've spent time in jail and it's hell with a broken heart. I agree with you, mate. Some people are truly terrible and they deserve way more punishment than the free pass current laws give them. Yeah, and you probably called her up and cried like little BXDXH. What a disgrace you are to your son. My goodness, look son, this is what I want you to do when you marry a cheater. Move the AP in the house and let him live there. It makes it easier for him to have sex with your wife. Now son, always call before you come home, so that the real man of the house has time to finish up and let your wife clean him up before you get home and kiss her. I am so sick of these so-called men keeping their children in these situations because they love their cheater so much. Here is some free advice op. Pack your stuff and your son's stuff. Move to your parents' house. Get a lawyer or do it yourself. File for divorce. Do not reconcile. You are too weak. No nutsidus. Do something for your son, not yourself. Do not tell me how great your cheater is as a mother. Lie to someone who has not heard it. You need to wake up. Everything I have just said to you is exactly what your wife and her boyfriend says about you. Now if you have any manhood, self-respect or real love for your son, get out and start raising him yourself. If you work a 12-hour shift, that means you work full-time. That is great. Stay with your parents. Pay them to stay at their house and also get free childcare. Do not be cheap paying them. Start documenting everything about the wife and her boyfriend. Quit accusing her of cheating. You do know cheaters lie also. We all want to update after you file for divorce. I left originally but came back with my son. I can leave at will. I just wish things were not how they are. This happened while I was at work. You can leave at will, you say. Yet you choose to keep your son in that SHXD hole, where he can watch threats of suicide by sister-in-law. He can watch mama banging sister's boyfriend. Oh, let's not forget, after watching mama and the man that's putting those hickeys all over her neck screw, then he has the great pleasure of listening to them insult you and sister-in-law. Yeah, you're a real winner when it comes to being a dad. Oh yes, you said you left originally. Bullshit. You were gone for a few days. Hell, you probably were 5 minutes away and calling every hour. The reason you went home was not for your child. You went home to babysit that cheater of yours. You said you can leave at will. LOL, yeah right. Just make sure you keep paying the bills there and putting food on the table. All that ducking going on there when you are at work makes a man hungry. Usually I would not be this rough, but since no one in that house gives a damn about the child there, I don't feel like I need to go easy on the coward of the cheaters. Divorce her and get full custody of your son. But gather evidence before so you can take her down. I think you're a fool. But if you really want her back, you will never accomplish that by doing the pick-me dance. You need to do the 180 and go North Carolina with her and contact a lawyer and file. It's your only chance. If she gets served, she might realize this is for real now. I doubt it. I think she has been ducking him for many months now. You just finally got her head out of ass. Look how easily she bluffed you when you found the messages. Love hurts, I know, but doesn't having a little self-respect and a little dignity count for something? Bien laughed at by them both in between their constant banging anyways. If you can't do it for you, do it for your son, so if this ever happens to him he will know how to act. That's why you really need to screen people before marrying and having kids. And I mean screen them for like 20 years if you can, then get out. LOL. But I feel like it's a wasted effort and I'm just emotionally ruined by this whole situation. I hope you don't take your time here, because 2 years will slip away before you know it and you will still be miserable. Best to leave someone that would do that, not only to you, but to her own sister. Have more respect for yourself than staying with someone like that. Brother, you don't have anything to reconcile with. That's one heartless manipulative chick. I don't like divorce, but I'd type up the papers for you. Sorry, I know it sucks. I don't like flowers was the tell. She only said this to humiliate you in front of her AP. The tell demonstrates that her belittling you forms a part of her fantasy. That's game over. Hurting others is fun for them and a key part of the affair. You can see that with their reactions about her sister's cry for help. They enjoyed that so much it caused them to have sex. They would have a similar reaction if that were to be you. As if the acts, lies, lack of care etc. wasn't bad enough, this tell shows you that the situation is totally irreconcilable. You have to get out of this situation. There actually isn't a choice, and once you work out the implications of her fantasy you will clearly see that. Edit, Duck, you've got a child with her. Get the child away. TRO if you can. Whatever. Just get him away from her. You just don't want to hear it, or you just don't get it. She doesn't want you or her sister in her life. She is busy ducking. Get yourself together for your son and get out of her life and never go back. You can do better for you and your son. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Be strong, flexed biceps. Man, sorry you have had to go through this. Rough stuff for you. Your hurt, all of it is valid. Remember that. I would not try and reconcile with this woman ever. Cheating is bad enough, but doing that type of stuff to your own sister as well, this woman is beyond toxic. If you are all roommates, I would encourage you to leave that environment now. Get your own place, or go to your father's. Anywhere but where you are now. It's hard enough getting over being cheated on. You also have family drama involved with this too. I feel this is way over your ability given the current set of circumstances. Again, I would highly encourage you to leave and end it with this woman for good. So what did she say when you had her served with divorce papers? Run fast for you and your son's sake. No reconciliation. They were definitely laughing at you because they were able to manipulate you. In all honesty, this woman doesn't love you. I saw in a comment where you said that you went to your dad for a week, and she never called her son. Get out of this toxic situation and create a better life for you and your son. I want you to go to a mirror and take a deep breath. Now I want you to look yourself in the eye and ask yourself this. By accepting this kind of disrespect and emotional abuse, am I being the best kind of role model I can be to my son? Ask yourself that single question and think about the series of events you described. Then I want you to get your narrow butt in gear and do what you gotta do to blow up your wife's affair and protect you and your son. Get a lawyer, confide in family and friends. Don't be ashamed. The only person who deserves shame is your wife and her sister's boyfriend. If need be, snoop, gather evidence and then expose her. You've done nothing wrong except for letting this charade go on for far too long. Good luck, up and nut up. No, get your son out of this situation. This isn't right at all. This woman is either mentally ill, evil, or both. Has she tried to make you forgive her? Her sister, how did she take all this? You shouldn't continue with her. She mistreats you and makes fun of you. I am actually pretty good friends with her sister, especially now. And no, she didn't try to do much really. I just told her I could never do what she's done to me. I've been loyal this whole time. Now what are you gonna do? Will you stay with her or not? Is her sister still with her boyfriend? What do her parents think of all this? Yes, you have been a very good doormat. Wow, for your loyalty she spit on your face. Now I know why she cheated, because you gave her way more power on you. If you have been strict on your boundaries, she may won't do it. But now she is walking all over you with no respect for you. If you love your son, you would definitely leave her. She became upset if I would be hanging out with her sister when she would get home anywhere from 12 AM to 6 AM. What is your wife doing right now? How is she doing when it comes to earning your trust back? How is she trying to convince you? Give us more details. Did she knows you are heartbroken? Is she trying to calm you down? Or trying to initiate intimacy? When she comes home, sometimes she has unlocked my door with a card, and slept with me, and I give in to that shit because she has that power over me when she's sweet. I'm blind to everything. Unfortunately. But as of now we've had no contact in about 3 days. First thing on your list, top, and yes, it's a long list with lots and lots of other priorities, is to get your son DNA tested. Their affair could have been going on for a long time. You won't get any truth out of either of them. The thing about affairs of this nature is the sheer disrespect by the participants. They will have been having so many private laughs at you and your little in jokes. Touching while you were in the room. Ducking in your own bed. And your wife's reaction to her sister almost taking her own life was staggeringly, actually psychotically, callous. From your narrative, it sounds as if you are going to try to reconcile with your wife. Good luck with that. She is an absolute and utter piece of work. And the use of the word work is me just trying not to give my real thoughts. You are young up. You've got a couple of years that you could waste trying to resurrect your corpse's marriage. But eventually you will realize that it just isn't worth it. Good luck. No. He's mine 100%. This has occurred over the last few months. My parents separated when I was younger and my mom was the one who passed, despite their issues. My dad wishes my mom and he worked things out, and even to this day he admits he loves her. My mom was 32. I just don't want my son to experience that because we're no longer together. He's oblivious to the whole thing. I wish my parents stayed together because maybe my mom wouldn't have killed herself. I remember being 13 or 14 and my mom actually telling us kids that she missed my dad when my stepdad would abuse her. I feel as if I'm in my dad's shoes and I'm practically named after the guy. I literally feel cursed. And I just wish I could be saved in terms of my love life. Well, start with the good news. He's yours. That is fantastic. On the other hand, you are carrying a whole heap of emotional baggage from way before this new thing hit you. In a way, my situation was not unlike yours. I had a lot to deal with as a child. Mine was the first person I ever thought loved me for me, and I loved them to absolute bits. Never in a million years did I think that they would do the things that they did, and so ducking brass-faced with it. You've got to separate the issues. They might appear to be connected, but they are not. The dynamics of your parents' marriage were completely out of your control and actually were out of their control too. There were no right or wrong actions. There wasn't a one-size-fits-all solution to their problems, just as there isn't for yours. Please try to get it out of your head that remaining in a loveless, untrusting marriage is going to be good for your son. It ain't. Take your time. Plan everything out carefully. Things will get better. But, in order for them to do so, you need to be away from your cheating wife. Good luck again. How are you doing, Op? Got any updates? Really hope you have left your wife. Her and AP are very bad people. Don't let them continue taking advantage of you. I'm at home right now. In the spare bedroom. Saw her for the first time and she had hickeys on her neck. Absolutely devastating but not surprising. Heart is crushed. Why are you in the spare bedroom? Did you cheat? No. See, this is why the affair fog lasts. Instead of sending her to her mom or to the couch, you're rewarding her with the master bedroom. What is this? Has she even faced any actual consequences for her cheating? Do you think being a nice guy will somehow magically win her back? Stand up for yourself. Humiliating yourself, groveling, pleading will only make him more manly and sexy by comparison. Do not stay for the kids. You're doing this to yourself now by staying. Crushed enough to do something about that? Have you even lawyered up yet? Why are you still there? Gather up some courage and leave. Leave her and take your son. Starting anew will be difficult for me. So how difficult would it be for you to just move into the role of being the babysitter, housemaid and the bill payer? Frown. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night. Wherever you are.